Hello and welcome to a brand new Let's Play Planet Coaster series on my YouTube channel. If you came over from the first series, then thank you for sticking with me, and if you are new, I hope you enjoy the videos. From the first series, you'll have you'll have noticed even from the first episode through to the last one, there was a lot more I learned going through it and playing it, which is the whole point of doing this YouTube series. And I do feel as though I picked up quite a bit going through it, and what I want to do in this park is I want to kind of build on that and go into a lot more detail with the rides and the scenery, and really make it feel like as realistic as possible in terms of a theme park. Now, what you can see me doing here is I wanted to build like a big entrance plaza. In the last series, I kind of just finished off the last episode by putting the entrance on. And although the entrance did work, it fitted in well and it did look good. It wasn't, there wasn't much detail going onto it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just building a big entrance plaza, big entrance building with a few shops going in the bottom. Now at this point, where I'm putting in the flat roof, my plan is to have a train station sat on top of that entrance, so that as guests come out of that tunnel down there and come towards the park, they can see the train sat in the station and pulling off, as and guests getting on and off it. So that my aim is to have that as the big sort of grand entrance, as it would be. Now obviously the rest of the park isn't built yet, so I could just put the train track in a massive circle, but I don't want to. I'd rather build the rest of the park, and the train will probably be the last ride that gets finished because of that, because the track will be weaving in and out of where rides and scenery and different attractions go. So yeah, the train will stay there for now. I don't know how many stops it will be. I don't know whether there will be another stop. There probably will be, but yeah, I'm just kind of leaving that there for now, and just finishing off this building. So in this series, I kind of want to have an aim, really, of what to do and what to build. So in the last series, although I had 3 areas in my head that I wanted to build, I didn't really have an end goal as such. It was just make three areas of the park, different themes, and do what you can with it. So in this part, my aim is to I want to have set out themes, a set out theme for the whole park, and just watch it all come together. So my aim is to go on the basis of something like Epcot in Florida, where you have sort of like a world showcase of different countries. So you go through different countries' buildings and different countries' foods and rides. So that's my aim. It's not a duplicate of Epcot, but that's the basis I'm going for. The park is called Lakeside Adventure, which, as you can see from the lake in the middle of the park, that's the reason why I've called it that. So I'm going into more detail with everything in this park, as opposed to Series 1, even down to the actually naming rides and colour coordinating them and setting them, setting every little detail that I can, just to make it as authentic as possible and to make it look as good as possible. Now the roof I'm putting over this train station here is just so obviously you can see the train from the entrance, and I think having a sort of wooden roof over the station would look very good. If you've not noticed, at the front of the station, the train operator is actually in a separate building. It's actually the other side of the wall to where the guests are, which I think actually looks quite good, because they won't see him. They'll just get on the train and they won't have to see him. I'm also taking into account lighting, which you can see here. So there will be points where I'll be decorating with lighting and flicking it from day mode to night mode. So yeah, again, it's just that extra bit of detail, and I think it will really make the park stand out. So in terms of the length of the series, the last one was 12 episodes. This one, with the detail I'm going into, will be a lot longer than 12, I imagine. So what I'm going to do, it won't be an episode as regular as the first series, just because of the amount of time I'm spending on each episode here, because as you can see, everything is time lapsed. So I'm going to try and put out 2 episodes a week. I'm aiming for Saturday and Wednesday. There you can see the night mode. So yeah, I'm aiming for Saturday and Wednesday. If I do miss a day, then I do apologise in advance. But yeah, that's my target. That's what I'm aiming for. But things can get in the way of that. So I will try and do my best to stick to it. So yeah, so at this point, I'm just sort of sticking decorations on this building just to make it look more realistic. Mainly putting a load of windows and doors on. But no, I think that having the train entrance like that will look really good when the guests are in it. Something else I want to do in this park as well is once I've got, I don't want to set a whole area, but once I've got a certain amount of rides and attractions in the park, I will open it up to guests and then sort of carry on construction when they're in there, because I think that was the one thing I wanted to change from the first series, was that we got to see the guests in there more than we did. So here we're just putting some shop fronts on. Although the entrance will be underneath the train station, it will be. I just thought putting some sort of guest information and services, and to have some sort of memorabilia and souvenir shops. Having that in the plaza would suit well for people, for people who want to buy some stuff before going in, or just as they leave. Just like you would in a normal park. Now, just above the entrance there, I did find this sort of jester sign, which I thought looked quite good. So we're just putting one on either side to either welcome or say goodbye. And then once, as I say, once I've got this design done on this building, planting and landscaping is another big aspect of this, which is what I'm just about to jump into now. Now the railings along the side of the path in this game are pretty boring. They look fine, but I think they're a little bit boring, especially for an entrance. So I thought I'd try and brighten up the entrance a little bit and put some hedge fences in, just to bring it to life a little bit, really, and improve on the decoration. As I say, it's still a learning process. For me, discovering what is in the game, what I can do, and how easy some stuff is to do on the game. I'm just here putting some flower beds, no real purpose, just for decoration. In terms of this series, as I say, it's going to be a sort of world showcase. So I think around the park there will be probably 4, potentially 5 different areas. This first area is not going to be based on a country, just because it's the entrance. I just kind of want to have a generic park entrance. So this first bit is not based on any country. It is just a generic park entrance. I say generic. I'm going into a lot of detail. I mean, generic is in the theme of it. Maybe a fairy tale theme, if you want to, say that. Here we are, just testing the entrance and what it looks like to the guests. So quite pleased with that. So we'll just bring the path forward now. With the train track, I don't want to have the supports just flying around the edge of the park. So I think that'll look a bit look a bit boring and dull. So I decided to put kind of hills, and throughout the park there will be different things blocking those supports. The supports will be shown at some point, I'm sure, but they'll also be they'll also be hidden by hills or scenery or some sort. So here I am, just building the exit and entrance for the train station. We don't want this to stand out and take away from the building. So once I've built these, the queue line and the exit path will both be inside buildings themselves, so that it's not on show for everybody. So yeah, it's a lot of it is picking colours, picking the right scenery, and as I say, I'm just spending a lot more time. This whole episode probably took me about 90 minutes to film. Obviously, I've condensed that down to sort of like a 20-minute episode after kind of cutting bits and speeding it up. But you know, again, that's why I've decided to do a voiceover instead of talking as I'm doing it, because I'm sure you know I'm sure the most patient person in the world wouldn't want to listen to me ramble on for 90 minutes as I'm building this, especially when things are going wrong, or you know, if I want to change something, etc. It's just easier if I do it this way. Yeah, I'm just starting again here on this wall. I was finding it quite difficult to line this up properly, but we did get there in the end, which you can see just here. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much my idea for the series, is to go for this world showcase. As I say, the park is called Lakeside Adventure. If you've got any suggestions, any ideas for countries, or what to go in different countries, etc., then feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you aren't subscribed and you are watching this, then please do give me a thumbs up and drop a subscribe. I mean, it does help me out. Even if you don't want to watch another one of my videos, if you do that and then just mute me, that will still go down very well. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just sort of trying to put decorations in. I know I said the first bit was generic. I kind of went for like a fairy tale sort of basic theme in the end, just putting a few different props really, just so it's not just grass that's underneath there, just so there was a kind of a purpose to it. So yeah, at this stage it's just putting, like I say, you got like a witch's cauldron there and some market stalls, and then again with the lighting, just putting a bit of light in there, trying to attach this ceiling in the right place, just underneath the path there, just so it doesn't float through another bit of path. So yeah, just need to just had to move that because it didn't quite fit in. So yeah, I mean, in terms of rides, again, I'd like to try some new rides that I didn't put in the first series. So obviously we built the 3 different coasters, and I'm really pleased with all of those. Didn't have any issues with them. What I would like to do in this one is the coasters that I build, I'd like to be different styles of coasters, so that I can sort of practice building different styles. That would be very good if I could do that. So yeah, I think the first one we had a hybrid coaster, a wooden coaster, and then an infinite coaster. So yeah, I'm gonna try and go for a few more styles, but obviously keeping those styles within the within the countries that they're being built in. Again, here I'm just sort of trying to hide the entrance to the station without it standing out too much. I thought these white pillars look quite nice. So yeah, and you've just seen me do that for the entrance, and now I'm just filling in the exit. And I know the design I'm going for now that I've done the entrance one. So the exit one was a lot easier after I'd done that first one. You can see down here there's so much scenery and so many different props you can put into the game that I mean, I was trying to mirror the other side, but the options really are endless, especially with the DLC stuff you can download. So yeah, it's that is my aim for this park. So it's it is going to be still a learning process. Please don't expect some expert park builder, but hopefully you can follow along and just see how much or how little I can do. As I say, I'm enjoying filming this, and hope you are enjoying watching it. So yeah, I'll leave you on a bit of a time lapse here, just while I finish off this bit, and I'll see you shortly. Right, so now it's time to put the first ride in, and I've gone for your very standard carousel. I just thought, coming through the main entrance gates, I thought having a nice carousel, playing music and decorated, I thought would have a really good start to it. Obviously, a queue line around a carousel tends to wrap round the circle, so that's what I've gone for, trying to keep it nice and compact. So yeah, I just thought every theme park needs a good carousel on there, and now it was time to just sort of theme around it. Now, there's no, as I say, because this is a sort of generic entrance, I'm not basing this bit off any countries or areas of the world. This was just sort of some generic theming, just putting some plants in, and although it is very basic, putting the plants in, when if you spend time doing this, once you've looked at it at the end and zoom out, it does look really good. It's one of these things. The more time and effort you put into it, the better it will look. So although there's there's a variety of different plants going on here that all seem to work together, as I say, because I'm not going for any theme in particular. I think it works well having a sort of mishmash of plants, because I don't think anything doesn't go with a merry-go-round, really. So yeah, just trying to make it as bright, vibrant and colourful as I possibly can. So you can see me here just flicking through the different plant options available. I have gone for these trees at the sides, but I don't want to block any view, any sight lines, any views of the park. So that's why I've kind of stuck them both at the edge, just to sort of, it's almost like an unofficial symbol of like, this is the edge of the carousel area. I'm blocking in the plants with this hedge, with this hedge fencing again. Again, I think this does look really good, and I think this does the job. It's just a case of wrapping everything in, and it does kind of tidy everything up really, so the plants aren't just like hanging out on their own. They have got their own little segment. So yeah, I'm just putting in the tree at the edge there. So now I've got my last area to fill in basically with different plants. And yeah, like, there's no particular purpose, no particular aim of what colours or plants I'm going for, just a generic mix to make it bright and colourful. And I think that is what I've turned out to get. I'm just changing the colours here to blue and yellow. I don't know what flowers are blue and yellow, but blue and yellow look good to me. So yeah, so I thought, why not? And then there's a big hedge entrance there to the carousel. So yeah, that's that bit. Now just down here, this is the last part of this video. I thought I'd make a little shack that just has some sort of facilities in. Facilities being a toilet block and a staff building, because when the park eventually opens up, the staff obviously want breaks. So I was trying to make a building that could kind of incorporate both toilets and a staff building, so that they could both be under the same roof really, and not stand out as separate buildings. Because I think there's no particular reason why they can't be, and it kind of hides those buildings away, because sometimes they can be a bit of an eyesore and ruin the theming. So there's the staff building going in, and the toilet's just behind it, and the other staff room there. So I've got 2 toilets and 2 staff rooms in there. That's just a case of putting the path in. I was trying to work out the best way to do this, because it obviously automatically links there. So I thought linking both and then building the path through was the best way to go about it, which is what I did in the end. I'm just adjusting the staff room capacity here to 10 members of staff each, just so more people can fit in there. And yeah, so obviously we need some signage just to tell people what is going in this building. So I needed to go around and find a WC or toilet sign, and yeah, and then I thought there's a bit of a gap down here, so I just wanted to put a bit of foliage down there, just to have a bit of colour, and just so there wasn't much of a gap. As I say, this is all going part of the extra detail I'm going into on this park. In the last one I probably would have left that, and yeah, I just kind of want to, toying with different ideas, which is what you can see I'm doing here. I'm thinking, do I put a vending machine in, do I, you know, etc. And it's those sort of decisions that you have a quick look at and you think, no, that doesn't work, and then you change it, and that's exactly what I've done. So yeah, here we are. Here's the final carousel, and hope you yeah, I'm quite pleased with the scenery there. Hope you enjoy it, and let's just have a quick ride on it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, I hope you stick with me with this series, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you. Goodbye.